Hey guys, welcome back to Smart Wallet and Me, where financial wisdom matters. Today I want to do another update on the housing market and give you a brief synopsis of what's really going on, especially in my market in California. And this report comes from the National Association of Realtors, and it is for the week of November 2 through the 5th. So it's pretty current and pretty accurate. And according to this report, you can see that the contract signings rose about 22% in the last 4 weeks. So there are way more contract signings year over year for new houses. The new listings rose 5% year over year and 5% in the prior 4 week period. Also, last week, the National Association of Realtors reported that pending home sales contracts in September were up 20.5% year over year, and that's adjusted for seasonal effects. And at the current pace, there are 9 new contract signings per 10 new listings. So basically, 90% of any listing that gets put out there is going to be sold within 4 weeks at the most. So the peak ratio was 9.9 in July, partly reflecting the seasonal uptick in demand, as well as the boost from the home buying after sheltering in place orders started to be lifted in May. So you can see here in May, it started to tick back up, and then it peaked all the way back in July of this year, and then it started to go back down again, and we're now back at 9.2%. And also another thing to look at is residential construction spending is up by 9% from 1 year ago. In September, the value of private residential construction put in place rose 4.7% from August and 8.8% from 1 year ago. So that's a good sign that there's more construction being built. That should alleviate a little bit of the low inventory in the market, but I don't think it's going to be enough to cause prices to come down anytime soon. In September, inventory fell to a level equivalent to last 2.7 months at the current monthly sales pace, and the median existing home sales price rose 15% year over year amid tight inventory conditions. As you can see here in this chart, the price of a single family and multi-family home was $394 seasonally adjusted, in billions of dollars. In non-residential, it's at 258 billion. So the single family homes have gone up in sales tremendously year over year. And another report that I want to show you guys is the 30-year fixed mortgage rate slightly rose to 2.81%, even though they are still at all-time lows. They did go up a little bit. Mortgage applications are up 24% year over year. And guys, I just want to let you guys know that I also refinanced my home. I got a 2.75% interest rate for 30 years fixed, and I couldn't be any happier. So I'm very happy that I was able to lock in that rate, because I do believe that there's going to be a lot of inflation in the future. And if you just pay this off in future dollars, you'll be paying with less dollars because of inflation. So because I believe that inflation will go higher, over 3 to 4%, based on what the Federal Reserve is doing, I think it's better to pay off this debt at future dollars, because you'll be paying it off with less worth dollars than they are today. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully that would make sense to you if you play it back. In the week ending October 23, mortgage purchase applications slightly increased by 0.2% from the prior week and are 23.5% higher compared to 1 year ago. Application for new purchases has risen by 23.5% compared to 1 year ago, and 30-year fixed mortgage rates have gone down steadily to 2.81%. The applications dropped tremendously when there was a pandemic back in March and April, but then they picked up, and now they are way higher because of the great demand that's out there. I also wanted to give you guys an update on the mortgage rates and how this impacts the family home and their budget. Even as home prices have increased, the decline in mortgage rates has lowered the monthly mortgage payment on a typical single family home to $1,048, which is below the estimated median rent in October of $1,161. it's kind of amazing to see that it would cost you less to own a home than it is to rent, according to the National Association of Realtors, where they have estimated that the median rent price is $1,161, whereas a typical mortgage on a single family home would be $1,048. So mortgages are estimated and expected to remain low for quite some time, as the Federal Open Market Committee reiterated on August 27, and Jerome Powell just stated, I think this earlier or late last week, that he's going to keep interest rates near zero for the foreseeable future. So I think that the interest rate will still remain low, but I don't know how low and for how long. But you can see here that the mortgage payments for a rent is higher than it is for owning a single family home. That's why I think there's such a high demand for buying properties right now. And I also wanted to bring your attention to this chart right here. The fraction of loans in forbearance continues to decline to 5.8%. So the fraction of loans in forbearance continued to decline to 5.83% for the 19th week in a row during the week of October 25. The Mortgage Bankers Association estimates that 2.9 million homeowners in forbearance plans, and that was 3 million during the prior week. The fraction of loans insured or backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that are in forbearance declined to 3.66%. So guys, you can see how the forbearance numbers are continuing to go down. As I've already mentioned in my previous video, I believe these numbers are artificially low. I don't think that they are an accurate estimate of what is really going on in the economy. And this is a chart that I wanted to bring your attention to. As of 2020, the second quarter, 8.2% of loans are past due, but due to the foreclosure moratorium on federally backed mortgages, less than 1% of mortgages are in some stage of foreclosure. So look at this line up here. All loans, total past due is 8.22, but yet the foreclosures have gone down, which really doesn't make sense. The declining share of loans in forbearance means less likelihood of loans going into foreclosure, which can bring down prices and property values as occurred during the Great Recession. There's a complete disconnect between the amount of foreclosures compared to the amount of forbearances, because if there was no forbearance allowed, I believe that that would allow more homes to be foreclosed upon, which would flood the market with more properties and would bring down the prices of homes. But unfortunately, because of the foreclosure moratorium on federally backed mortgages, no properties are being foreclosed upon, or at least very few homes are being foreclosed upon right now, and it's been declining as we saw here. So this is something to be looking out for, and I think that this might change whenever the year ends, because it's supposed to end by the end of the year of 2020. It's still to be seen what will happen at the beginning of the new year of 2021. But if this moratorium ends, I think that you will see the foreclosures spike up here, and that would bring a flood of more properties on the market, and it would probably bring down the prices of homes in 2021 or maybe in 2022. And also, in other news, personal income rose 6.2% year over year in September. And this is good news for some people. I know some people have lost their jobs, and a lot of people are actually getting less income because they're either taking part-time jobs or they just have lost their income altogether. But for other people, there is a large increase of 6.2% in their income. The average weekly wage in September was $29.5, up from 4.7% from 1 year ago, in part reflecting the loss of lower wage workers like retail, trade, and hospitality. Compared to April, personal income is down by $2 trillion. Spending also increased. The savings rate, personal income less outlays and taxes as a percentage of income, fell to 14%, down from 34% in April. In the third quarter, personal consumer spending rose 16%, or an annualized rate of 40.7%. With consumer spending accounting for about 70% of GDP, the economy expanded by 7.4%, or an annualized rate of 33.1%. And fewer people are claiming unemployment insurance. Currently, it's 22.4 million during the week of October 10, from 32 million during the week of June 20. And with the expiration of the $600 weekly pandemic unemployment assistance on July 31, the payment of government unemployment insurance continued to decline from 1.4 trillion in June to 364.8 billion in September. And this is the chart showing how the government unemployment insurance benefits has gone down over the last 5 months or so. Fewer people applied for unemployment benefits last week, which is a good sign because, as I mentioned in my previous video, I believe that employment really drives the real estate market, because if people don't have jobs, they're not going to be able to afford to pay mortgages, and the banks are not going to be giving them loans to qualify for those mortgages. So therefore, as we see more and more people becoming employed and getting off of unemployment, then we will start seeing more people buying homes and the demand even increasing higher than where they are right now. So guys, I really recommend you guys be watching the jobless claims reports, because as you see unemployment rate going down, then you will be seeing more people buying properties because they will be able to qualify for more mortgages. So as you see the jobless claims declining and more people getting employed, that's a good sign. But right now, what we're seeing is that less and less people are claiming unemployment benefits, which is a good sign. And guys, here's another report that I wanted to bring out, was the open houses. Public interest in open houses dropped 37% last week compared to a year earlier, which is a very shocking news to me, because usually people want to go to open houses and look at properties, but I guess more and more people are now wanting to see properties online or through virtual tours rather than going in person to the home. So interest for open houses is twice the interest back in April. So the interest has gone up, but the actual open houses has dropped. At the local level, interest remains strong in Montana, Connecticut, and Kansas. So guys, this is the wrap up of my market news for the housing market. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up and like this video for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.